Alright guys, so to get started, I'm going to be using a dome cap that I picked up from my local beauty supply store, and it's the spandex dome cap. It's the one with the thick band around the perimeter. I prefer those. You can use whatever you like. I'm just going to place that onto my mannequin head, and I'm going to pin them on both sides. The hair I'm going to be using for this video is by Asteria hair, and this is their loose deep wave, and I have 3 bundles in a closure. The bundles are 16, 18, and 20 inches, and the closure is 14 inches. I already bleached the knots on my closure prior to filming. If you don't know how to, I will leave a reference video in the description box below for you guys. The only thing that's washed in this video is the lace closure. I did not wash the bundles. I typically don't when I make my wig. I typically do it after. Now to get started, I'm going to place the closure flat on the dome cap, and I'm going to place the front of the closure a couple of centimeters in front of the dome cap. You don't want to place it behind, because you put your wig on, it's going to be way behind your hairline. So make sure your closure is completely flat before doing this, and make sure there's no bulking or anything in your dome cap. You don't want to have any bumps or anything when you lay your wig down. So when I do start my closure, I do seal the knot about 3 times just for extra security, and I don't take my needle all the way through the thick band, because that will defeat the purpose of allowing the wig to be stretched on your head. So you just want to go through the fabric. You don't want to go all the way through the elastic. Just go through the fabric. So go very lightly. When I sew my closures down, I sew and I always tie a knot just for the extra security. I've learned to make my wigs through watching YouTube videos, so I'm just going to go ahead and stitch one side. I don't go all the way around. I stitch on one side and then I hop to the other side, and then I go to the back.
Talk back to me. Wishing I was you without a care like that. Baby girl, I thought you knew we had it good like that. You can turn your face and make it fade to black. Back to me, yeah. Just give me 2 and I'm gone. Look at us.
So once I'm done stitching one side, I go ahead and I secure it with a knot. So one side is all completed, it is flat and seamless, and then I'm going to hop to the next side and do the exact same thing. Remember, do not take the needle through the elastic. I did that before, and when I tell you my wig would not stretch to fit my head, it would not. It really was just ruined. So that is very important. Keep your closure flat. Make sure you don't go through the thick elastic, and you should be all set. The closure, I feel, is the most important part of any wig. If the closure ain't right, the wig ain't gonna be right. So once I complete one side, then I hop to the back and I go ahead and I stitch the back as well. I tried doing it where I would just stitch going all the way around, and it just didn't work out. And when you stitch from one side to the other, it allows you to have a flat closure once you're all done. So now that I'm all done, I'm just showing you guys how everything looks on each side, and everything is flat and seamless, just how you want it to be. So now this is the fun part and the easy part. I'm going to use a hot glue gun. I got my glue gun off of Amazon a few years ago, and I got my glue sticks at Walmart. You don't have to cut them. If you do cut them, it can increase the risk of shedding, but I really don't mind. So I'm going to go ahead and measure, and then I'm going to apply my glue to the dome cap. Since I was low on the first glue stick, it was difficult. I had to, push the glue stick through until, it was good to go by itself. And then I'm just going to go ahead and lay each track on the glue, and I'm going to secure it by pressing and applying pressure to the track so it can be secure. Now typically what I would do, I didn't want to do this because I was lazy. I would measure and I wouldn't even cut the track. So once I got to the end of the track, I would stitch it at the end and then flip it over and then do it that way. So you can do the flip over method as well. You just apply the track, stitch each end of the track, and then flip it and then do the same thing. Some people prefer to do sewing when they're making their wigs, and I feel that gives you more longevity with the wig. But this is just quick and easy, and after maybe 6 or 7 washes, that's when I can notice that the glue is starting to come loose, but I'll just go back in and retouch it. So I'm just going from one side to the other. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat this process.
You're just when I thought I heard it all. Baby, you call, and I'm
So as you can see,
falling.
So once I got to the top of the wig, I thought that I was going to run out of hair quickly because the bundles felt a little thin. So once I got to the top, you can see that I'm starting to make the tracks much more closer and not so gappy.
Nobody knows what you do to me, yeah. Oh, just when I thought I'd seen it all, there you are, and I'm falling, yeah. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, baby, you call, yeah, you call, and I'm falling.
So now that I've gotten all the track hot glued to the wig, the last track is the one where you're sewing it onto the closure. You don't want to use a hot glue gun method on your closure, it will ruin it. So I'm just stitching my last track, but I'm going through the closure, and so I don't have any gaps when I flip my hair back and you're looking at the back of my wig and you see where my closure is. You will not see any gaps, so you always want to make sure it is extremely close to the closure, and you're just going to go ahead and stitch that going all the way around. And this is the last track.
Just when I thought I'd heard it all, baby, you call, yeah, you call, and I'm falling.
So this is the wig, not 100% complete, but as far as the hard work, all that is done. Now I'm going to take the wig off the mannequin head and I'm going to flip it inside out. And as you can see, the stitching, that's where the closure is. You want to cut inside, but you don't want to cut extremely close to the stitching because then your closure gonna fall off your head and that ain't cute. So go ahead and cut the fabric out of the inside of the closure, put it back on your mannequin head, and there you have it. The last step that I would do is cut the front of the closure off, and I'm all done.
Where you been and what you up to? Too long to get through.
So this is how the wig looks once I applied it. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and if you found it helpful. Go ahead and check out Asteria Hair. I will leave a link in the description box below to their website, as well as a direct link to the hair that I have installed. I only had this hair for a week, so I can't give you a review on it, but I do like this look on me. I really do. It is totally spring ready, summer ready, Rihanna vibes all day. So thank you all for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you in my next one. So until then, peace, two fingers.
Whatever you do.